Look at this place.
Women will like it right. Men are
This is perfect, man. Dark.
That's true.
No,
you want to feel like you're being
That's true.
And then we'll change out the furniture, make some brighter.
Have you talked to?
I'm gonna donate like a deer head, put it on the wall or something like that, you know?
It's a really nice buffalo hook that holds a drink.
An cigar ashtray.
A hockey stick, a football, a basketball.
That's it. Some pictures of men holding their babies.
Yes, we have some really
Oh,
cool
I saw. I
ones.
want to get a poster. It was a fist bump between a dad and a baby.
Yeah.
And it says the first baby bump or something like
Wow,
that.
that
It's
was really cute.
So tell them like briefly your rundown of these guys and like how you inspired them to step up.
Okay,
These two do sidewalk counseling.
And Joe.
And they talk to so they talk to guys on the sidewalk a lot. So they're like going to be taking tips.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I was just telling them. So I even utilize how many kids we have. But so the waiting room, usually I go in there. We used to ask the women used to ask them, hey, would you like to talk to one of our male mentors? And they're like, no. So I said, don't ask them anything. When they take their significant other to the back or something, or they're there, I'll walk in and I'll be like, and I get their names, so we now have them sign in with the women so that they acknowledge us psychologically that they're here too.
They're committed.
They're part of this too. So they sign in, I get their name, and they give me the sticker. I go back there and I'm all like, hey John, how are you doing? I'm Edward Garcia. Hey, where's your girl? Is she back there getting pampered? And he's all like, yeah. I said, you're here waiting, right? I said, I knew it. That's why I'm here, John. Let's go to the man cave. He gets up, we walk over here, we're talking, and then I have him sit down and I get, some paperwork out of the way, things like that, that document that they're here, that we're serving the community. And then after that, I look at what the intake shows. A lot of the intake gives us information, how soon were they sexually active, have they had previous abortions, or do they plan to parent, do they plan to abort, are they undecided, what religion they are they practicing faith, are they not? All these little nuggets are helping me understand who they are so that I know how to approach them respectively. So basically I said, I guess you want to know, why I'm here and what's my purpose. And I said, well, I'm 49 years old. I was going into the Navy, going Special Forces. The big guy asked me, why don't you do that for me? Why don't you be Special Forces for me? And I said, hey, what a
Wow. Wow.
Said, okay, and that usually
Praise God.
That hits the men, right? Special Forces, wow, for something else. Especially if I see their faith face, and it kind of clicks to them. And then I said, well, let me tell you about my family. I've got a 21-year-old son. He's about to graduate UTEP. I got a 19-year-old daughter. I got an 18-year-old daughter. I got a 12-year-old son. I got a 2.5-year-old son. I got a 1.5-year-old son. That's when the jaw drops on the couch. And I said, but wait.
I'm not done yet.
I got a little girl due in November.
Wow.
And they're all like, oh my gosh, I was worried about this one, my first. And I said, let me tell you, you'll be provided for. Everything will work out.
Praise God.
I've been there. I've done that. My job here is to shorten your learning curve. That's all. I don't want you to wing it. We don't want you to wing it. Let's tell you about our services here. We got free parenting classes. If you go to the parenting classes, you can build points. Points are dollars, so you could pick things at the boutique. But even more so, we know that stress is going to hit you no matter what. But if you put those skills in your bag of tools, when the stress hits you, it's not going to be that bad. And what? We want to empower women. We want to honor men, and we want to celebrate families. What's that mean? If we could decrease the stress levels in your relationship, in your family, that's going to keep you together. And if that keeps you together, you're going to be the man that needs to be in this family to guide, protect, and serve. You're going to be the spiritual guide in your family. You got to build that foundation. Where are you at in that? Well, I don't know. I see you're 24 years old, you're 27, you're 17. You look at your education-wise, you're at that level, your spiritual education is what? At a 12-year-old? I said, I suggest you get back into your faith, get back in and build that foundation. So I don't go too much into spirituality because that's a separate type of counseling, but I can bring that up as a fact.
Right.
Especially if they put it on the paper as where they're at. So whether they're abortion minded, whether they're undecided or wanting to parent, you know, I still educate them about abortion. I still educate them about parenting. I still educate them about miscarriages. I use the miscarriage of my happening to introduce me to abortion. So I said, you know what, before my 2.5-year-old, we had a miscarriage at 14 weeks. My wife had a big cyst, you know, about the size of a softball, twisted her ovary. She was in so much pain, they had to take that out, her ovary and the cyst. But I think that irregulated the progesterone balance and all that. So we lost our baby girl, Hope Paulina, but we do counseling for that as well. And you know, many women never discuss miscarriages, you know, when nobody's assuming they're going to have one, so they don't look up and get the knowledge beforehand. So a lot of times they're like, I flushed my baby down the toilet, I didn't know what to do, and they never came to terms with that life. I said, look, it's kind of like an abortion. That's when I go into abortion, whether they're abortion-minded or not. I want everybody to leave here educated. And I said, if you're educated in all these areas, you'll be able to teach your kids as they grow up. You'll be able to know when you have a friend or somebody in high school or anything in your life environment, if you hear about these things, you'll know where to send them. Guidance Star. They're like, I didn't know this existed. I didn't even know about this information. Every session's an education so that we can keep, you know, inspiring men to know these things, because part of being a protector, I told them, it's okay, they can write on that. Part of being a protector is knowing how to protect your family from these decisions. I said, let me talk to you about these decisions. When the seed enters the egg, there's a flash of light. Whether you're spiritual or not, I say the soul enters in that at that moment. That's light. They say it's a clump of cells. I said, look at me, man. I'm a clump of cells. And they're laughing, right? And then I said, look, they just need more time to grow. I said, I still need more time to grow. Look at me growing. I'm still developing. I said, I don't buy that. I said, we have to be protectors of our family. I said, look at your woman. Look at your woman. Have you really thought about how special she is? Look at the commitment she is giving you. Look at your woman. Look at your woman giving you these babies. Do you know what they go through? The hormonal changes, the nausea, the everything that's happening inside.
That's your baby.
I say, what commitment as a man equals that to your woman? What commitment as a man equals that to your woman? That your woman commits to you by having your children. What equals it? They can't think of anything that powerful. And so if it's something lacking in marriage because they haven't had a dad and they want to be jinxed or something like that, then I kind of coach them on what it means to give that commitment to your wife. Does she want to get married? Some women don't want to get married. They're like, I don't want to get married. But if they do, I said, has she been mentioning it to you? Then I help them stand up and be like, you know what, I'm going to go ask her to marry me. I said, you don't have to get married tomorrow, but you can at least commit to her and let her know, I want to work on this with you. I want to commit to you. I want to work on this because look at what you've been doing for me all this year. So we talk about that. We talk about the inertia of the pregnancy itself. I joke around and I say, hey, you know what? Having intimacy and having an orgasm, that's pretty powerful, right? They're all like, yeah. I say, if we could bottle that up, we could probably power the city with that energy. And they're like, yeah, we probably could. And I said, imagine what's going on in a woman. When the neurons are communicating, the brain, it's going back and forth saying, mama, I'm here, baby, I'm here. The body was meant to do that. It is just powerful. That inertia. So when we remove the baby, at any given point, it's like trying to stop a locomotive train connected to 100 carts. It derails. It's like trying to stop a bullet. Think of the energy of something that was unnatural. That's not a process. That was never meant to be. During the pregnancy or the conception, you think you have it in order and you're like, well, I don't know if I can have this baby. So you're trying to think straight. But when you remove that, the body scientifically itself is going, what just happened? I'm working so hard to grow this baby. What just happened? And the body gets confused. So then why do you think, and the news doesn't report this, why do you think there's so many suicides after abortion? Why do you think there's so much promiscuity? All of a sudden, now women are just trying to fill that void looking for love. That'll never be filled. Look at the self-medication. alcoholism, drugs that come with this. I said, even eating, overeating for just trying to comfort food. I said, or they keep having abortion. So I said, look, what's the natural instinct for the body once it doesn't want to remember something so traumatic? It's PTSD, like the warriors that go to fight in Afghanistan. They see death all around them. Whether they take in life or they see it around them. They come back changed. I said, women are changing, men are changing because of these decisions. I said, so they get PTSD as well. So they suppress it. They suppress it because anytime they think about it, they might commit suicide or they might do something very harsh or they just can't deal with the pain. So they suppress it. So me and my wife also do Rachel's Vineyard.
Really?
Rachel's Vineyard is all around the world in different languages. And I say, look, we're here for you, Guiding Star as well. Not only for miscarriage, but we're here for post-abortion counseling and retreats. Because we got to find healing. All these testimonies for men and women, I hear from 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years suppressing it until it just bursts. Because once you make a decision like that, you'll always be reminded. Whether it's the day you had it, whether it's you calculate when your son or daughter would have been, how old, what month they would have been born, it is always a reminder constantly. You look at your own children. I said, it happened in my family. And that's why I'm here able to talk about it. My wife, before I met her, at 19, she had an abortion. She was coerced by a man 13 years older than her. I said, that's pedophile. You're 19, he's 32. Oh my gosh. I said, look, even your siblings might grow. Once you have kids, you abort this baby and you have future kids. If you believe in the spiritual world, let me tell you what's going to happen, because our daughter grew and years ago was like, Mom, I dreamt that I had an older brother. He was talking to me. And guess what? She should have had an older brother. The age of my son, 21. She should have. You cannot escape the spirituality, whether it's scientifically, it is there and it will forever be there. It's a journey that never goes away. It's a hurt that will never go away, but we learn how to deal, how to heal, and how to move on, and how to be advocates. I said, so is that the decision you want for your girl in there? And they're looking at me like, holy smokes, I've never heard any of this. I said, so do you want to be with her? Well, yeah. Do you want a life with her? Well, yeah. So when she asked you, she wants to terminate, what did you say? Well, it's up to her. And I said, any woman that hears that response from their man ends up terminating. Let me tell you about the love of a woman. When she commits to you, she will take a bullet for you. She will give you all the intimacy you want if you got her and you're respecting her, you're loving her. But if you betray her, if you do not support her, she also has a deep commitment and she'll abort her own child. It's ironic how that happens, but as men, we cannot take advantage of that any longer. We cannot take advantage of the women that are looking for a man to protect them, to guide them, to love them. We need to stop. We need to be real men.
Right.
You got the laws. You say you believe, you're a Catholic, you're a Christian, you believe God's laws, right? And then you got the rules laws, the deception. And then we're picking and choosing
Don't worry about me.
to make our own laws. Is that right?
Had a bunch of them.
No. I said, then you need to pick a law and you need to go by it. Especially if you're going to be the man of the house. And they're all like, wow. I said, I see you don't have your dad here. When did that happen? Well, he's never been in my life. Majority of men come in here with no dad. I said, I'll be your dad. Your dad's talking to you right now.
Stop.
Do you want to be a good dad? Have you learned from the past of what you don't want into what you want now? They're like, I do. I said, you can call me at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. I'll answer the phone. That's my calling, to be here for you. Not just for you to say yes and keep your baby and then go on. It's to continue the journey. Because men need men. Look at the retail stores, full of stuff for women. We have one aisle. Men need men. We need to start talking to each other, coming up with best practices. How many times do we just keep it to ourselves? Oh yeah, all the Do you have anybody you could talk to like this? No? Oh, you got me. And I bet you if you look back in life, you've always had somebody, if you really think about it. And you're like, yeah. I said, you're going to end up being like me, and you need to
Likes it.
share this with other men. That's how we're going to get these situations no more. That's how women are not going to be suffering like this no more, because the men are going to step up. That's the problem. The men are not stepping up, so the women are falling into these traps, into this manipulation, into this abuse. And they're just like, man, okay. And so they end up
How can you
going-
say no to that after listening to him?
They charge you.
No, he's got a good talk for sure.
Yeah.
It flows out well with you. Yeah, not with me. He's like, just don't be a wimp. Come over here and don't kill your baby. Quit killing the baby. Go be a man. Go get your wife out of there. Let's go.
You can do this, Joe.
I can do it.
You can do this.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I'm gonna do. I want the latter. I don't want the
working
women.
with coalition, with Mark, and strategizing, we know we only got a few seconds on the sidewalk. I've been on the sidewalk too, and it's just a matter of come on to Guiding Star, come to a pregnancy center that is going to give you some extra counseling, some more time.
Yeah, because unfortunately, you can't really get into that length of a conversation on the sidewalk.
Right,
Very
a
rarely.
couple of seconds or a minute,
So,
yeah.
so our whole goal is let's just get them over here and hand them off, and then we're back over there as soon as possible for the
Yeah.
next one. You know, and just feed them lives.
Yes, yes.
It's either I get them mad at me and then they come over and talk to me, one or the other, or I just kind of sweet talk them. That's the only two ways. There's no, the men are the easier to turn around than the girl, for sure. Way easier.
Well, I know the kiddos it's hard, but if at any point you guys want, or maybe another trip down, or I go up there, you know, I do have kind of my